talked of algorithms.
Mm.
And that brings me to, that makes me think about the
Yeah.
current phenomenon called AI. Do you
Ah.
see AI as a threat, as a companion? Like, does it help you? Does it make your work easier? Does it threaten your work?
No, I absolutely love AI.
Yeah.
This is, for me, I'm on the other inside side. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you're doing a study, and kitambo, you'd sort of literally have to tag it out. Like if, let's say I wanted to write equations for analyzing a specific set of data. Yeah, because data, there are some data that are very big so I'll give you an example. So in normal sort of statistics, we'd use softwares like SPSS, like Stata. But then at some level, when you look at an Excel sheet and assume now there's data up to 10,000 rows and then columns. So now that data needs bigger tools. So maybe you'd use RStudio. But now what AI has done, it has made our work easier in the sense of you don't have to do so many things manually, right? So for example, there was this time that we were analyzing, because we were analyzing this engineering data on, how can I put it? You see how this camera is here, is facing me. There's something we call visual attention. So when there's a way you can set up sensors, and there's something we called eye tracker. It's an eye tracking software, so that if somebody sees this side, it picks where your iris is seeing. So there's a study that we're doing for a cockpit, actually, cockpit. So the study was trying to use eye tracking to see how the pilot is seeing different sets of data on the cockpit. So that kind of data is huge. And so analyzing it manually is very difficult. Luckily for AI, we used ChatGPT to write the code. It's like 4 pages code for analyzing that data on MATLAB. MATLAB now is like a software for modeling and analyzing engineering data. Now, if we didn't have those kind of platforms like ChatGPT or DeepSeek, all that kind of stuff, it would have been like manual work that would take days, and you test whether it works days. Now you can write a whole code and then you can test it there whether it works before you even take it to analyzing the data. So I think it's just like what automation used to be. It helps you be more efficient, so it cuts down on the time. It also makes it easier for you to do certain things that would probably need more people to do. And of course, there are risks to it in the sense of way back before, maybe even before the internet, you had to develop a very deep, we usually call it subject domain. You had to develop a very deep subject domain expertise to do some things. Because first of all, you had to learn them from the library. So you had to go to the library and learn everything about that, and then you try to do it. So the experts had to be purely within the field. And then when the internet came, especially when now the web browser, as we know it, became a normal thing, and people started publishing all this information on the internet, access to that information became easier. And so you could Google how to do something like, how do I cook shawarma, or how do I cook? way back you'd have to go to the supermarket and look for which kind of cooking book has that recipe, right? Then now you're in a situation where you can just Google it and then see, you get a recipe. Now, if you now add that with like what we are calling large language models in AI, now it's even making things easier because now the AI does the search for you and then gives you a summary. So while kitambo you used to read tens of sort of links to information on websites to get information about a specific thing. Now when you have, let's say, ChatGPT add-ons on your browser, it does that work for you, and you only need to cross-check the sources for that. So it makes things easier, but that is just a small part of what AI does. I think sometimes when we talk about AI or machine learning, because we fear, as human beings, we always fear new things, and we tend to look so much into how they are going to negatively affect us. So try to imagine the first person who suggested that we build a cart to be pulled by a horse instead of just riding on the horse. You can imagine the kind of criticisms he got in terms of, is it going to be safe? We should just ride on horses and all that. And then build a cart for the horse. And then somebody decides like we need to have a bicycle. And like, it's just two-wheelers. How is somebody going to ride it? People are going to fall off. And then you come with motorcycles, and now the speed has increased, and now you have vehicles, and you have like when the Wright brothers attempted flying for the first time. It was a miracle. It was a miracle. And it took a very long period of time for people to accept flying as safe. Now it's like the safest mode of transport. So people still do not understand what AI is. But in reality, AI is more or less like the road. AI is a road. It's where people build things on. You know? So, you know how a road connects this town to this town, and then something that now transports goods and services to this road is now the vehicle, you know? So the vehicle would be now, these are the things that we are using AI for. But AI is like a superstructure. It's just a new superstructure for the economy, the same way the internet was. You know how we have the internet, which is basically a connection of computers and how computers can share data. But now what we do with the internet is that we've built businesses on it. We've built e-commerce businesses on it. We've built educational platforms on it. We've built so many things on the internet beyond just a space for information. It's now a platform, an infrastructure for business. And any investment being done on the internet now is as an infrastructure. In fact, people even forgot that there used to be a lot of like fear or misinformation of what the internet is going to become, but it has become just a infrastructure. That's the same thing with AI. AI builds on where the internet has ended. Yeah, because we've built some huge volume of information that is so huge that we don't have the capacity to consume it as human beings. So now AI is now the technology that is going to help us to make use of this kind of infrastructure that we have built. The same way we are building new cars for the road, same way we build faster trains for the railway. The railway is like a 200-year-old technology. The railway has not changed, but the speed of trains, the quality of trains has changed. The road is still the road, it's just asphalt and bitumen. It has not changed, still connecting this town to this town. But the cars and those roads have changed. Now even the cars are changing, EVs are coming, yeah. The air has not changed, the planes, yeah. Still the same thing. So AI is the same thing. AI now is a new sort of infrastructure for knowledge that now is going to be an anchor for new businesses. Yeah.
I like that answer. I'm actually learned.
Yeah, that's
I also had my doubts,
yeah.
my fears when it came to AI. And
I think the fear comes to the fear comes now from like a practitioner point of view. Look at it this way. Remember when we were young, the people who used to walk around and take photos of us, right? And then take it to the studio, and then we used to call it "it's going to be washed." And then when it is washed, they'll come tomorrow and now give you like this one has been produced now, you know. Then digital cameras came, and then a digital platform for communication came. So you didn't need to print, even though you can still print it. You can send me on WhatsApp, you can send on Facebook, you can put it. So we no longer even have albums where we used to put pictures, right? Now you take it with your phone. But has it killed photographers? No. Photographers have moved to using those new tools. The real photographers didn't sort of cry that, no, now how are we going to produce, how are you going to make money from photography? No. It moved to the next digital platform, and now it's even moving to AI. Yeah. Now, at the AI level, now it goes back to the basic. We usually call it a plateau, when everybody knows everything. Everybody knows how to use Facebook, everybody knows how to use X. So we are at a plateau. So the people now who are going to make money are now people who are more creative than everybody else who knows how to use AI app, photo apps. So now the creative people, the knowledge people now are the ones who are going to. So it allows people to bring the best of themselves. So people fear because people want to stick in stale, boring, dull jobs without creativity. Yeah, they want to stuck to. They don't want to. Now, that is already routine, you know. We used to write things by hand when there was no printers and there was no Microsoft Word to type on. Yeah. You used to have. Yeah, we didn't have printers, we didn't have photocopiers. Yeah. But now those are become old technology. Now we are even building online platforms and people don't need to copy things. Just share the digital PDFs and, you know. So it's a normal pathway of change. Some are going to learn that they are just tools for them to use so that they can make their work easier and better. There are some who are going to get stuck on the old technology, and maybe they'll be the vintage guys, the guys who still are stuck on like, I'm selling these vintage things. It's good, it's part of our cultural memory and cultural history. So, but then there are those who are going to be disillusioned either by the lack of choices or by too many choices.